Welcome to another exciting episode of Full Circle. I'm your host, as always, Harmon Jr. You can find me at Harmon Jr.
And I'm Jared Fradette. You can find me at Harmon Jr. No. You can find me at Toon Velo. So with that joke aside, we've got great topics for you today. We'll be talking about the game Cadence of Hyrule. Not by Nintendo. Does this mean Nintendo's going to start playing nice?
I guess we'll find out. We'll be talking about, finally, you probably wonder, I don't think we mentioned it yet, maybe tiny bit, but we're talking about the Galar controversy in Pokemon. Yes, Pokemon Controversy. What a time to be alive.
Right. But first and foremost, we are going to discuss the sad passing of Youtuber Etika.
Yes, normally, we have light, fun topics, serious to us things, but now we're talking about a real-world case of unfortunate suicide by a popular YouTuber who came to fame by streaming Nintendos and then Let's Plays and reaction videos, and was popular for things of that nature. Unfortunately, he passed last week due to suicide. He was a New York streamer. Widely popular for the things that he done, but was not immune to, the aches, the vile ugliness, the
toxicity.
Toxicity of social media.
Mm-hmm. So this whole segment is pretty much just going to be talking about, I suppose, that toxicity, how you just shouldn't be a bad person.
Yeah. So he mentioned before that he was going through depression, and I can speak for this people. Like, I myself, I think I have a good grasp on dealing with my issues, in a positive manner, overcoming and pushing forward. But that does not mean everybody also has that ability to do so. We all go through different things and we handle it in a different way. And in Eric's situation, he voiced his opinion to the community. And what I assume to be only a small part of the community lashed back at him for more views or being a faker, wanting attention. Which that is not the case. If someone... What?
No, I was just say, which again is completely an asinine statement for a troll to say. It's like, how... Of course, that's what everyone is on YouTube for fame and money. Like, if we're just doing it for funsies, then what would we be? I don't know. I don't sit there and, like, film my food for random strangers to enjoy. Like... I just enjoy it. Like, if I'm filming it for other people, like, I do want... why are we doing this podcast, Odell?
Because we find it fun, but ultimately because we have goals and want to get somewhere and hopefully use this as a platform for our desires in this life.
Right? So, it's like, otherwise we just talk about... I mean, we do anyway, but we just talk about things we like and enjoy. So, I don't know, like... For trolls to be so toxic as to... Like, it's such a stupid thing for them to, like, harp on, and it's like, do you have no life? It was like you were saying with we've only ever been attacked like once here on the YouTube video. Mm-hmm. We don't even notice because we don't always read the comments, but it was on our Vic Mignogna episode, right? Like, we got like 5 comments and 6 like thumb downs because like people wanted to shame us for talking about. We fairly talked about him fairly neutrally too. Yeah. Just Vic Mignogna. So I'm like,
it was more like, these are the facts. This was going on with him. I don't think we even based an opinion on the situation.
But it's just like, trolls. Do you how can you go out and attack people for doing something they like, trying to be successful, when you're skulking the bottom barrel of the internet for just like to voice your uninspired comments?
I don't see why people can attack someone for someone opening up about what they're going through. If it's like, hey, I've been gone a while because XYZ,
Right.
And my thing is, if you think they're doing it for attention, if that's your honest opinion, you can always not watch.
Right. It's like, well, it worked because they got yours.
And so, just moving on past the tragedy, if you're someone who's dealing with this, my advice is always remember, like, especially if you're any form of popular, you're popular for a reason. You got there because people like you. And there, the golden rule of everyone's not going to like you in life. If you had 100,000 trolls, to me, that's successful. Because it means if you have that high number of trolls, you must have proportionally that many more people who like you. So, like, if you have 100,000 trolls, you probably have, like, a followership of, like, 1 million plus. And, so on and so forth. And if you're someone struggling with this, we'll provide information below for you to seek help. But remember, you don't have to read the comments.
Like,
you just don't.
I actually recently watched Ralph Breaks the Internet, and then he goes to the YouTube comments where it's like
I actually watched that too.
Right, he's because it's on Netflix now. But it's like he's having the time of his life, and then he goes to the comment section, and it's like, oh, never read the comments. Even like the things I post on Facebook, I just by and large don't read the comments.
And, I mean, I always tell people this. If you're going to look at the negative of something, don't forget the positive there. Don't ignore the, you're great, you're awesome, it's funny, it made me laugh, your thing is cool, and then latch on to the, you're stupid. Because, there was 9 other comments of awesomeness.
I mean, actually, part of the article I was reading to prepare for this was they're talking about how most actual YouTubers... I was trying to broaden that social mediaers.
Content creators.
Content creators. How most content creators actually do just go and see like a professional like therapist or a psychiatrist, just almost as a preemptive measure because, it's...
To make sure you can take the guff.
Or not just take the guff, but like to just make sure your mental health is in fact staying well. Because, we say these things, but we don't have the millions of followers.
This is true.
Like,
this is true.
It's death by 1,000 cuts. Sure, I could be eating right and healthy, but if people keep like nicking at me, I'm eventually going to bleed out.
Yeah. And people, do not forget, not only check on your friends, but also if you're in a situation, do not be afraid to reach out. If someone is extending that hand, that helping hand, please reach out and grasp it. Especially because some people never even get the helping hand part. So if there's someone seeking to be there for you, you may not want to, and I understand the feelings of not wanting help. We live in a culture where, anyone seeking any type of help is, either a fraud, a fake, a phony, yada, yada, yada.
Right. I mean, that's kind of just our whole vernacular. We are saying mental health professionals and psychiatrists, but like the common terms people say for these are the shrink, the quack, the head doctor. Which, like, it just has a whole taboo to it, which does not help the cause.
And so... whether you're a content creator like us, that catch-all umbrella, whether a viewer of content, which we all are in some way, shape, or form, on both sides of this coin, we need to be better. We just need to be better as a people, as a community, as this world and globe. And yes, people, I mean, I know some people may think, well, it's just, faceless comments. But, okay, we live in a society, that might have been true-ish, back in like 1995, but we now currently, we are all as real as our online persona, whether we want that to be true or not. It just simply is.
I mean, right, there was the whole scandal with, right, when YouTube made you get a Google Plus account, and now you're commenting as your name on YouTube. It's very much, you're a real person.
Yeah.
You're not just Quacker McFluffin 37.
Yeah, the veil was destroyed a long time ago.
So it's probably time we stop acting like that and start treating each other like people.
Also, rest in peace, Etika.
Yes.
And more, this is also controversy, but in a more light-handed topic. Pokemon. So,
next segment.
Yeah, there's really no way to segue from. Yeah. So, next segment. We have now reflected. So, Pokemon. If you didn't know, there's been controversy going on in Pokemon, and a really surprisingly big one. At first, it was more like complaints. Here's the internet again.
Just
like
blowing something up into like a fever pitch.
So, one of the producers of Pokemon, I forgot who exactly. Let's just say the Pokemon Company.
Right, there we go.
They announced that
not all Pokemon will be in the new game.
Yes.
Flip the table, punch the wall. Angry white boy powers, punch the drywall.
So there will be no National Dex. If there is, not all I guess there would be a National. Yeah, there's no National Dex, meaning Pokemon's 1 through wherever it falls. I just hope it's like 1,000. Just make it nice. There are now 1,000 Pokemon.
Right. So we're on this same side of this. I just think it's ridiculous how explosive the internet has gotten over this, because it's like they just said not everybody. There's like they're going to be over 1,000 Pokemon.
Yeah.
They haven't even said
at least over 900. That much.
It's not like they said, yep, there's only going to be 80 Galar Pokemon and that's it. Like, Okay, right. First of all, they haven't said how many.
They haven't.
Second of all, they haven't said which.
They haven't.
So, as you pointed out to me, it's just like...
So, okay.
Can you name them all? Name one of the Pokemon right now, Odell.
Well, we're going to put a joke here. Marcactus.
Not Maractus. Not Dunsparce. What will I ever do without... I don't...
My Skitty and Delcatty.
My Skitty and Delcatty. Like...
So, I will say this. We, as you can probably figure it out, were not affected by the news. A lot of Pokemon fans were.
I will say, I was disappointed. Shucks.
I will say this. I'm probably thinking, there might be a Pokemon that I truly love because every Pokemon is loved by at least somebody. I understand that. And then one of my battle Pokemon I've already trained, bred, and loved and plan on to transfer over to the game once it gets to that point might not be there. Let's say like Volcarona. I love my Volcarona. It's one of my best Pokemon. If Volcarona's not in the Galar Dex, I'm pretty sure I will be some segment of upset. I'll also find, new Pokemon to love and replace and build my team around. But let's back up here. One, the most popular battle Pokemon, realistically, are most likely all going to be there. You're not going to be missing your Garchomps. You're not going to be missing your Tyrannitars. You're not going to be missing your Volcaronas, probably. You might be missing some, like, Zigzagooms, some Skitties, some Centrix,
But what about my Wurmples and Cascoons and Dustox, my Shedinja?
Yeah, I'm really pretty sure a lot of these Pokemon are going to be like, we call, the level 1 through 3 starter Pokemon from all the gens. Like, I'm going to call them the Rattatas. The every generation Rattata might not be in there.
No, Rattata's going to be there.
Yeah,
he's in everything. Right? So probably realistically, most of the Alolan Pokemon won't be there. Right? That was specific to Sun and Moon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll probably get like the Mimikyus. Once again, like, the uber popular ones will probably make it. They might not include all the starters. I don't know. But from a realistic standpoint, it will make the game better, people, in terms of balancing, in terms of, especially with Dynamaxing there. Like, could you imagine them trying to program every Pokemon to Dynamax?
Right, so let's take this back a little bit. The reasons they cited for why they aren't including them all was it's complicated, which, okay, some programmers say it's not that. We don't know, right?
We're not there. We're not putting the hours upon hours into the game.
Right. They want to rebalance the game. I am 100% for this. Some of them are completely ridiculous. And then and with the rebalancing and trying to restructure things, this is not the first time they've done this to try and fix things, right? So we faced a lot of really hacked Pokemon. So part of this and part of Pokemon Home, I think, is them trying to program in a way to filter out hacked v unhacked Pokemon.
Yes, because no one has a team of perfectly IV,
shiny,
EV trained shiny Pokemon. No one does. Granted, there might be a person out there, and I promise you, if I ask you, how long did it take you to get that?
Too long. The answer is too long. But this isn't the first time they've done it. They did this too between Gold and Silver and Ruby Sapphire, right?
Yeah,
they put that hard barrier and went. Then they just said, suck it. You don't get those Pokemon. And we can't trade them forward at all.
Yeah, you just couldn't,
Right here.
And everyone lived.
Right? Right? I didn't go on the internet as an 8-year-old and complain to Nintendo directly about that.
I've heard this complaint. I can't complete the National Dex. I always do that. I'm like, you trade over literal hundreds of Pokemon.
Right.
And that's the only way to literally do it. There's only a finite number that appear in that generation or in that game.
Right. Not to mention, it's like, well, yeah, if you've already completed the National Dex once, you've already completed it.
Yeah, that means you just catch every new Pokemon in that region.
It's not
done.
A Steam game. You don't get a Valve achievement for doing it in that game. Only who knows is you. Well,
yeah.
I guess technically you might get the shiny charm or something, depending on the game.
But no, you get that for completing just the regional decks.
There you go.
I don't think you ever get anything for completing the National Dex other than, satisfaction.
Bragging rights.
Yeah, and I've heard people actually complain, no, the tagline's gotta catch them all. No, I can't catch them all. I'm like, technically you still can. You just catch them in other games, and then you catch,
right.
If you've already caught these Pokemon, then when I catch a Pikachu in Galar, I'm going to feel like I've caught a Pikachu for the first time. And if you're a completionist, there's still the Galar Dex. You still get the reward for completing that.
Right, so this is the other thing. I actually kind of like right? I like that not all the Pokemon will be there because it will allow me to just focus on the Galar region.
Oh, real quick, that's one of the other things. They said with them not doing it, they can now focus on Galar Pokemon, which I think is great because people always complain, "Oh, this looks like they didn't put no time and effort into it."
Right? And we already have wonderful, wonderful new original Pokemon, Wooloo and
Corviknight.
Well, Corviknight, right? The little electric corgi Pokemon. Like, people are already in love with these Pokemon.
What is electric corgi called?
I forgot his name entirely.
Okay. So yeah, we have Corviknight, we have Trunkno, the turtle. The point is, I remember X and Y is probably the biggest complaint that the Pokemon didn't look like Pokemon over there. I'm like, I look at these Pokemon, I'm like, they still have the triangular eye. Mm-hmm. They look Pokemon-y. You know, even the worst one I thought, Wooloo, turned out to be an internet sensation. Wooloo! So. Yes, I'm sorry, girl. I just want to make the point that, like, by not trying to focus and materialize every Pokemon that ever exists into this game, they can be like, look at these new original Pokemon, the thing people always want.
Right? No, that was pretty much the end of that point. It's like, it's enjoyable, but also, again, if you remember, we're trying to bring in the Pokemon Go crowd. It's really disheartening if you've built up your cutesy little, like, Galar team and you've had, you know, it has, like, your Bulbasaur or your Dragonite from Pokemon Go, and then somebody comes in swooping down with Volcarona. You're just like, wait, what is it? You know.
I mean, to be fair, that's still gonna happen with the Pokemon Go crowd.
I mean, it will still be a system shock to them, but we can lessen that by saying, look, we're all kind of starting here. You know, we're trying to catch everyone up to pace, I think.
To the Pokemon Go crowd that's gonna play this game, I will completely be swooping down on you with. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a Pokemon I've already trained. I'm pretty sure I can just catch any random Pokemon Gallery, Eevee train it real quick, and then just...
Flashback to, like, 3 years ago when people were challenging Odell. He's like, oh, as soon as Pokemon battles are going to be a thing, Odell, I'm challenging you. And Odell's like, sure.
Let's go.
And, come at me with your randomly generated Pokemon with 2 moves.
Oh, yeah, the Pokemon Go Pokemon are going to suck. Also, I didn't battle people in Let's Go because that game is also broken with, like, Unstoppable Eevee. Like, it's more unstoppable than Unstoppable Pikachu because it learns, like, a billion different moves that are all, like, triple effect.
No, it's great, right? Eevee, too. It's like, yeah, so I'm going to, let's see, give you Sizzle Slide Burn, then slow you down and paralyze you at the same time. It's like nasty, nasty plot, destroy your... It's like every attack is... extra uber.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like you threw up a barrier and you hurt me and I'm slow. What?
Yes. But again, it's going to be a steep learning curve, but they're still doing it, right? It's like, okay, here you're on a game. Here's a Pokemon that can't die. Now try and, like, win. Okay, now that you've gotten how to play the game, hopefully, now here's a bunch of Pokemon you have to learn and, you know, and natures and characteristics. Ooh, okay, yes. And now here's everything. Just uncork Pandora's box and let it all just rain out.
No, I think the biggest thing for them is like when you're a little kid, like non-attacking moves. Why would I ever use those?
They're so important. Who cares about quick attack? It's only got 30 power. Okay, let's see. You've got 5 HP left. Round pop.
Yeah, priority people.
But kind of like we're saying also, like, uncorking, eventually they'll come back, because we said they'll come back. And just Friday, the 28th, because you've all whined and complained so much, you've harassed Nintendo into releasing an official statement.
The official statement, do you have it? Okay.
I do not have it up.
Okay, but we'll put it here. So someone from the Pokemon Company, the name escapes right now, was basically like, look, this is what it is. So officially now, there will not be a National Dex. And he was like, all the Pokemon that will not be in Galar will return in future games. Now, is that going to be, you know, the
DLC or the Galar 2?
Or the third gun, whatever.
Right.
I really feel like it should be Sword, Shield, Arrow, Sword, Shield, Spear,
Scroll.
Or Staff.
Staff, yeah.
Like Magic Staff.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be gun. I'm pretty sure, like, especially since every other country except America has, like, strict gun laws.
Yeah. No, it's gun, but it's just the little iPhone emoji of a squirt gun. Stricter gun laws.
Okay, but yeah, so they've already said these Pokemon will return in future games. I mean, that could be the Pokemon Masters game. It could be that. I mean, that's vague. It can.
Right.
But the point is.
But again, this wasn't shocking because anybody who was slightly take a breath at the announcement and think this through, right? This is the company that has delayed games, shooting themselves in the foot, like, so that their engineers and their programmers weren't overworked. These,
which makes better games.
Which makes better games. These are the people who, like, we're releasing Pokemon Home, which is to replace... They wouldn't try and sell... Why would anybody buy Home if they knew they couldn't use it? Like, this makes zero sense as a policy if they were never going to come back ever.
And then, again, to put this on a bow nicely... First of all, I hope no Ultra Beasts are in Galar because, dear God, they're game breaking.
Right? It's like, oh no, not the Ultra Beasts. Like, we don't even call them Pokemon, Odell. We call them Ultra Beasts.
Yeah. So, to put it bold, it's not, we don't even know what the list is. It can literally just be like, no legendaries for other regions. Which, I mean, if you're a competitive battler, you shouldn't be using them anyway. I think it's just gonna make it nicer and cleaner. Because I swear, when it gets to the post game, people are just like Pokemon from everywhere. It's just like, oh yeah.
Okay, it's like yeah, I really love Galar. It's like, okay, what's your team? It's like none of the Pokemon from Galar. It's like, okay.
Is it Galar? Galar? I thought it was Galar.
Galar. I might have been saying it wrong.
Okay.
Galar. Hey, Galar.
I'm excited for November. I am very excited for November.
Yes.
I wish it was here now.
Right now.
All right. So, speaking of Nintendo and their policies, they've actually gotten a little bit leaner in recent years. Lenient. I cannot say lenient for some reason.
There you go.
There we go.
Right. So, for years now, Nintendo has always cracked down on anybody approaching the Nintendo line. There's been several, like, online spoofs of, like, Mario and things, and those are, like, cracked down on, cease and desist, complete, like, no holds bar, slap lawsuits and everything. However, there's a new popular game out called Cadence of Hyrule.
Yes, which features Cadence from the game Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Like Necromancer, but Dancer, because it's a music-based game. But anyway, the developers of that game somehow got Nintendo to agree to give them, the license, or not license, but approval to make a Zelda game in that fashion, featuring their titular character Candace in a Hyrule setting with Link and Zelda having to dance to the beat to defeat their new foe Octavio and save the Kingdom of Hyrule. And if you also remember, Ubisoft around Switch launch got Nintendo let them use the Mario title to combine it with Rabbids to make a.
Yes, I don't remember the name, but yes.
To make Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
There we go.
And so we're starting to see what used to be like, an iron gate of no. And again, Retro is about to make Metroid Prime 4. I mean, they already made the original Metro, so that's not big of a deal. But the point is that with these two games, and especially with there now being mobile games, Nintendo DNA specifically, they're making Pokemon Masters. Niantic has made Pokemon Go. I don't know who's developed Mario Run and other games of that nature. They might have just been Nintendo themselves. But the point is, they're giving mobile publishers, indie developers. So now we've reached a trifecta. They've given with DNA and Niantic mobile developers giving their properties to them, to other AAA companies such as Ubisoft. They've given it to them, and now even in the indie sphere with I do not know the developer's name of Crypt of the Necro Dancer. So they've hit every trifecta now, which again is a big deal for Nintendo. We're talking, this is their first time in their entirety of doing such things. So we're talking, all the way from 85, 6 up until 2016, 16 to now-ish. So basically, for the first time in their literal gaming lives. So it's a big deal because if this continues to happen, we might get some interesting games.
Right? Just saying, like, overall, it's a brilliant model for Nintendo to follow because, it's the biggest advantage they've held over any other gaming company is their first party games, right? All of the icons that you know as gaming, like you throw a dart on somebody at the street and they yell "ow," and then you ask them name a video game character, and it will probably be a Nintendo character. So, they have all those huge licenses that they can, like, lease out to people in the way that DC and Marvel have too, right, in the past.
Yeah. And it wouldn't say that we will get less quality. I mean, of course, there'll be spin-off. We'll just get more variety of titles, which is always a good thing. For example, they can give someone ability to make a Star Fox game who's really good at, like, fighter-esque games, and we'll finally get a game. And, of course, Nintendo still has strict guidelines. They're going to get final approval, final say, but it can just help the process. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, just like, hang on, like, the reason, if you look on, like, Odyssey or any Mario game, you'll notice Mario always jumps with his hand behind his head because he is not allowed to do any move that obstructs his face. Yeah, but I think there's, like, videos out there. So, like, Luigi is able to, like, dab, but Mario cannot. So anytime he's, like, promotionally, he's like, yeah, just always.
So he can his face. Oh, that's interesting.
So, right, all these little things they have to follow guidelines-wise.
Yeah. So, and I really think if they do this, we can get titles that maybe they just don't have any interest in doing or can't do before because of development power, like Star Fox, Captain Falcon, IPs and games that. And honestly, Nintendo's third-party selection has always been horrible because they've always just been first-party and gated.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're branching out more. They can finally, fix right a wrong that's been done for so long. And honestly, it just might make better games because Nintendo themselves can see something makes, and then they can literally be like, we can do it better, and now I have a better game.
Right.
And I mean, all the other games like Mario plus Rabbids was good. Pokemon Go has been a huge success, and I assume their future mobile titles are going to be as well. I know the Fire Emblem game that was mobile apparently was doing like exceptionally well as well.
Okay.
I haven't played it either, but
which is all really great to say, since if you remember, Miitomo was kind of a raging trash fire failure.
It was funny. It kind of just went did like an ultra spike, and then it was like a bolt of lightning. It was gone as quick as it came.
It was
But that was just Nintendo. So if someone, maybe that was better at developing those type of mobile games, until it's like, hey, do this for us, then
right, it allows them to test out their models in things. Nintendo's great. I think we all agree on that here.
Yeah.
But they don't always excel at everything.
I mean, look, for example, technically Pokemon is more Game Freak than Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah, so, if anything, I feel like they should just do what they did with Game Freak and do what every other big Sony and Microsoft, namely, they acquire little studios and be like, you're ours now, but you just do this one thing or this one game. And I feel like, I know Nintendo has enough money and power to be like, Game Freak is their own thing, but
they're like Disney and Pixar.
Yeah. So I feel like if Nintendo's just like, hey, company that's like really good at making like space shooters, you're just like Nintendo now. And it's like, hey, game that's really good at doing this. And hey, other place.
Here we go.
Yeah, so I feel like Nintendo should just do that. Kind of how like Microsoft recently is now just like, hey, we suck at making games apparently. We lack games. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to start purchasing smaller studios. Yay. Now their games are our games. And they're like...
I'm really surprised Microsoft didn't do that like out the gate.
I'm really surprised they just now did this.
Right, because like... I always felt that was kind of their essence anyway. It's just like, yep, we're just going to make games now. It's like, okay, good for you, Lara Croft versus Luigi.
Yeah, and unlike Nintendo, who wasn't trying to compete with anybody but themselves.
They were trying to hack out a marketplace.
Yeah.
But speaking about hacking out a marketplace, for full circle... I am Jared Fradette. You can find me at ToonBaylow.
And I'm Oda Harmon Jr. You can find me at Oda Harmon Jr. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time.